Everybody, I want to hear you. Let's go. Come on. One more time. Come on. I like it from Akka on guitar. I can't hear you. Break it down. I want to hear that. Let's go. Come on. Zoom. I want to hear the man. Hermano. Hermano. Zoom.
Yo, I want to share your mamu acho, mamu akwaba edibano kremre medieso. Midi edi Anthonia Dzifa Effah. And medias the ocean on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels neso. I all bansono share link no na afofranso ensa enkebi or comments neso eya na wasende edi amaye. One more Eastern European countries and so mubeti me ATA and podcast no and some beti Anchor FM and na Jumedi no most wait me ajoin ibi. Jumedi omo say as here they bro and you Total Grace Wellness Center, Total Grace Wellness Center say ya na wo de opumodin sem nyina e de adan omo. Omo ayene omo echeche nkomo enyum. Yes, sign Emma Aqua baby, Yahumano, Echichasie, aye. Omo yeni omo echichi inkomo enyimre yenua bema Ali Fofana or ye NDC communication team member or France Paris. Inti Ali or Hana which ya adofo amaye yema kwaba.
Hello, Jifa. Good evening. Yeah, Sanshia Bion. Good evening, Jifa.
Evening, Bibia Boko dear.
I then ask you, Bibia Boko. Yeah, Kasa Kra.
Na NDC then e kwaso wo mwakachi.
Yeah, NDC. Yeah, Juma. You go see Juma. You say we know just comedy. Yeah, tackle 2024. We just comedy.
You and the shadow for my
Yeah, okay, Jifa. Mesha say mechia ashefoni na messa chia penny for more France animal. From started from a chairman Evans, and a secretary, Mera Santry. Any penny for any Juma almost time meet as a demo money na any ashafona.
You yatse yabedase and the young funny over bets nemu akasa ediama MPP amanyokun eye yenya bema wa dude kundima. I hope say within my body ye.
Why shall I money completely? But Kundima.
Kundima. Yama kwaba.
Me that's it. Me chill bibia OT and our all hands this year. Haven't made it bro for me framework because
no problem.
100%. I would like to thank all my viewers, all the viewers and listeners this evening, and thank you for having me. I'm really, really grateful and happy to be here actually.
Now then I also MPP catching so.
Oh, MPP is all about strategizing and heading towards or marching towards 2024. The agenda has always been and remains breaking the eight, which we are right on track to do. So we are a bit excited. We've had a bit of, the past few hours setbacks here and there, but we are still on course. It's part of the experience, part of the experiment, and come 2024, we are very solid. We are very confident of a sounding victory for the NPP.
Yo yatse yedase and the omoche chado free dear yebeko na yafa the Evening Tribune ye newspaper yede ba bontin kwade bia nte ya na wapem aben o newsstand na also wetimi as a copy akenkan bi now they call the front page of the Evening Tribune. Yes say sorry eda hokakrake Dr. Baumia, the liar, shamefully lied against his own father, and no a story. I wore the Evening Tribune. Now, when you in the eka, kwabna ya boa panche, or no, and they send me ababetu giant, so yetimi atrobie. NDC is just equating wins Asin North by election, and also a woho. Inteyana wama onsa aka the Evening Tribune, not with me. I can kind stories no adomu score. Yo, yadase. Yeba fabo for cracks or yeba, your topic about discussing so, and also the best.
Abusuafo Professor Mo Ochini mmakwaba eba Total Grace Wellness Center. Total Grace Wellness Center eye apomudin asoe kese bia abefu mfidia kese ahyemu ma onyankopon adumti yabepiem ewo asantemam ha biaya ye frɛ no Santase Ampatia Amangwase. Santase Ampatia Amangwase sɛ ye hunhum ana sɛ honam yare bi enani wudi esi a wachine wunya no adura Brian Chen na onyankopon adumti ubenya wayaresa odofo frɛ ahomatrofo yi so 0257 420633 and I say 0257 35 9884. Total Grace Wellness Center. Body, soul, and spirit wellness.
Today's Ghana News TV is 2 years old, and we continue to give you the very best. Within our 2-year period, we have introduced our newspaper, the Evening Tribune. Tribune, when it comes, tribulation, you should expect it. It comes with all the hardcore news items, and we report it as it is, as you see it, and as you hear it. So do make a date with us. It comes out every Wednesday, so Thursday morning is right up there. Get a copy of it and get more informed. Do get in touch with us, and we have any article, we will do the publication for you.
Yo, and yet was that year fire topic. You have been discussing and now topic no ended the air bar pet. Yes, say a synod by election a course we nano nadi and I ever bed papi mu I share in somewhere ever to so Jenina and no NT and that yatiti in Kunya. Now ejebo ejano enya ababedru ase not omo akwakoto aba eyi sese no omo parliamentary member omo yi ne sese ora Jachikwese ina yebisa say sen na campaign ekoye nta NDC omutimi ewini ye anaden na MPP omwentimi anye ni ye violence bi so ana bibia eko asundwe kwanso eno ene babehye ne sesia yenu abe mali fofana pacho o hwa na wa join me wa ha
yeah mini abajifa
me sai e ma kwa babiem
ida se mini abajifa
we di akwakoye se oye NDC ni amo ena mutimi ewini ekonwa em se asen not na akonwa na akwakoye se a black diamond obi a pregidigidi se obenya ena nyame edi mu ho afofia NDC for mo ena akonwa na sese ababedi mu ho ye bisa se ede importe na mo ye strategy bensa anase denti na audience NDC for mutimi ewini sa CTBM.
Yeah, ebedika mesada wasibia mini abajifa. On say asin north about to no. Ye mpeni for eye juma. So what must say? Ye mpeni for esheda eko kromo even 3 weeks before even the election. You know, and now ye door campaign. Ye microphone asin no for the omutie message. So what must say? If say the message ankasa and and this time around it's like a wake up call. Among for the real face of MPP. So what must say? And now asin no for so mami chawa say once for example Jachikwesi first of all or your this year your promo ni mami your queen mother. So what must say? And ni papa so na or ye MSS ni papa so penny e promo. You know, enti ultimu say for the past 2 years na skabia enko apart from omo yi the parliament or na onanka send bosom sika ne dem enya di ye promo ye more than 2,000 street light and papa ndi onanka send bosom sika there enti kromo for omo say no papa no owodo any etima makromo for you know enti apart from that so GM ko ground no in advert paying force speaker events honorable Aruna Idrisu honorable Muntaka yem paying for nyina obi aye nyina yeko honom ama yeko kire nkofo no the difference between NDC and MPP if say e be do me nkofo no mo pa like they are not going to vote for Jachikwese anymore if they no mo ya tie MPP message now say mo say no enye sanet here. You know, they start threatening the people. Say, oh, mutu maja Jachikwese ebechi na tum. Oboko prison, obese. Into when you na kaum promo phone say no. Papa no ide or you krumba. If you ma omu say the MPP kan na eyenkro. the MPP can you know say no entro. If say NDC abanya didn't correct any idea. You know, and secondly, Emrebi can Japan be kasa. I'm say tama just kwesi a winning election no. Obedi this promo for like Oma winning election be can like say or Chad na on fan ko e so mon toma MPP. You know, and a Senate MPP echo hold omukoye kwan omukoche sika omukoye upon all nkofo na ma say no sika ni ba munjindi na mujidi wi am wankasa mu fo mo adwi entu mo aba. You know,
if it's a sympathy vote and I say NDC for more the sympathy some and a quarter to winning Emma or more at Tomamu no cre.
No, and yes sympathy vote. And yes sympathy vote. A Jumadia NDC for a you know, and there's nothing like sympathy vote ever on more. A Jumadin and ocean margin no cre. And I said, on say a swing area. So what must say? On to say Kumeu. I because a stronghold. A sin of a stronghold. NDC buy and MPP buy MPP buy and NDC buy. You know, and so on homophobia 4 years, 1 year to you with him. What I share 2020 election. Presidential, I could for the win here. And a parliamentary NDC win parliamentary. So what must say? And to way everyone say a sympathy vote. You know, there's nothing like a Jumadia Obia echo form. And at this time around, so you're paying for someone like Sylvester Tete or a poly agent. You know, you're fire you're penny from echo ground. And the MP people man yakwan there and him. Intention would buy and Oma Yahu Quine. And a secondly saying, is your best campaign manager. I na Akufo-Addo, our stage, or Beka say, Mamun to a ba and match as Chazupoku. If so, Nisunin fast walk. So what I say, you were on my penny up, and Akufo-Addo, campaign opposition there. We're very far. So what I say, and to when it's just wake up call, and when I see you my team yede. When it's like are they see no, yeah my team yede, and yede. Because when you the real battle, we nim that's it. That's it.
Na yes say much chase council in Sebi Monsu Sikan or Mojije Yano and a pushi ye a momo kwatoma NDC. No cry when we are then.
No, Minia Baji fan. Some Mukasa Mucha say how party your opposition for almost 7 years. Any party say about Scadia party or no power against party or opposition. You say this Skajifa. This guy betcha. Your videos I'm for about how much 200 Ghana. Yes,
most 100 Ghana.
No, oh say scanner a chair no. And no it's like and you want fertilizer any Wellington boot. So what must say now people they a roofing sheet. Cement bags upon all. Microphone will say no. Microphone my fire say Jimmy for. You know they taking them for granted. Into a bus car from the NDC, Yan Cheska be in Niska. I ever and people don't watch it.
That's how we phone and mutum. A big credit scanner church. So when you see my 100 Ghana, it's MPP so am I 200 into someone Cheska. The enemy say, oh, and you know, can I walk out say what has he seen?
No. And
I shall much say, so more than 1 year drew. What can I say about Tiasia? Now, can say, NDC and Cheska cry. And the enemy said, yes, either the wood name and I say, oh, can I walk out?
No, me who have video. The video is about MP Bomuche 200 Ghana. I be much cement bags. Me, the minimum say, am I a Wellington with any machete? I mean, any fertilizer. I buy Akufo-Addo. and from the minimum amount fertilizer and Wellington boot, our Mufanko Juma.
Now fertilizer and Wellington boots no was it to convince them say omuntu abama and I said didn't see a more fertilizer and Wellington boots.
No, yep buy no ye call ground no adia kromba no edu two ye man pinin no ye leader no say ade enyom no if say ever since Akufo-Addo oba no or mom free fertilizer biome.
And the NDC couldn't wait. Say you better bury and say should it be the day of election or the day before election? But this sign but don't you think say receiving these items no automatically influence on more votes?
No, ye the mom before the election.
Exactly, and I make kind of say, or receive Sanyama way before election, or to say, it will play a part in influencing their votes.
No, I mean this. And yet, idea, for example, one, young can't say, G fertilizer, next swear, say one to about my baby. That's what the MPP did.
Oh, any dear, so one cast on swear crampa, or be any say about 1 year babetui. Into who chichet tanya me mameno. I know you are also expecting something from me. It's a non-written agreement, Anna.
No, anyone, the chum, and yes, and find shows a G, not to my daddy. Ye catch them say, G, ne show a brabo, never to aba. Yan shom say, G, pefe to my NDC. Ye di mom muji na so hwe won kasa obrabo na to aba so at say yan fa man for anko she fie bi mu enche cheska even they were even trying to aggress your vice nana madam na no say no on or efie or go to say fie bi na amam for a lie or one bodyguard they pay some money because they were sharing money over there now so ye mom the niam they say kromba that's what they came to us say oh ade ye hia ne say any fertilizer ene di mom na say fan shom say munjina muto abamaye obia amafo nyina ehwe masitina ene mo to aba so at masie enye like enye like MPP omu cheska no maka say G bodua na ka say wan to maya duanu nkun
You yati na when you name no muhu say violence be a costo and momo afemu de mo share no bibia airport hotel.
Oh no, ye bebo IGP abaso and this time no so ye vigilant what must say ye mayeni eko from pa if say ye chinko from mienu ana miensa omu dress like police. If you dress like military, military, t-shirt, tada as in MP for that year. You don't come up police for police HUM. So I must say, if say this time call for young kwada or honmo, you call say juma. And the mama says boot for boot. That this is the boot of mama all can and you say contact what be the intelligence in a call ground. Young say security people call ground just for intelligence. Omu de bia omu bibia etuchu pe na afre police munchi papa we omu go chi say yampa is a suspect. This will tell you the professionalism of NDC. Do you now you branty or
Yo ya better say you be ma ali fofana ya be sign about subim Yemfa yenua bema okasa edema MPP amanyoku na ono so embe cheche ni nsemu Wadud yema wakwa babiem
Madam was na mesanso cheche etifo no mo hwina
asen north ebane sen eden na mo amfa tutu ye ana se den ene tochima MPP abato no mwentimi ewini.
First of all, no, I would like to Mr. Mukaka made Mukaka because for a few things or for a few reasons. First of all, I would like to say this by-election has in a way strengthened our democracy. Let me ask how. By-elections are usually conducted when a certain member of parliament passes away or there's a severe case of illness or anything with that regard. But it's a special case. So this particular by-election is a special one. Now, let me take you back to the year 2000. You know, the Asin constituency used to be just Asin South and Asin North. And the NPP has occupied these seats for 3 consecutive terms by Professor Dominic Fobin and Honorable Kennedy Japon. In 2012, there was the infusion of a new constituency, the Asin Central. So Kennedy Japon has to push to the Asin Central, and then Asin North became a very new constituency, I mean, in that regard. And then now, like our brother said earlier, it's a swing constituency, if I would say. You know, the NDC first obviously won it in 2012, and then we made a comeback with Abena Mensah, who won it in 2016. Now in 2020, then comes James Jachi Quayson, and like our brother earlier indicated, he's a royal from Asin North. So we believe that his stance, because he's a direct engineer of Asin North, that was the reason why he was able to defeat our incumbent Abena Mensah in the 2020 elections. Now, we all believe, because actually I need to make it very factual and put it out there, that Abena Mensah is actually from the Asin Central part of Asin constituency. So she was not a direct indigene of Asin North, but she went into the polls and she won in 2016, let's not forget. So in 2020, when James Jaji Quayson came up, like our brother rightly said, he's a royal from Asin North. We believe in the NPP that had a direct influence, or that decided the outcome of our elections in 2020, and the NPP lost that seat. Now, we all know he's been going through some legal battles or legal issues due to citizenship and denouncement of citizenship and all that. So when he was sworn in 2020, it was obvious, it was clear to all Ghanaians that he was not allowed to perform his duties as a member of parliament. And I believe that the constitution was very clear about dual citizenships, or people with dual citizenships contesting for office of whatsoever, I mean, being the judiciary or the legislature, which in this case was the legislature. He contested for the parliamentary seats and won when he has not yet received the certificate of denouncement. So that was very, very important for the court or the judiciary to look into and tackle the matter head on. It has come up, it's now clear that when he actually filed the nominations or picked up nomination to contest on the ticket of the NDC for the Asin North constituency, he has not still received the certificate yet. So his time when he won the elections in 2020, he was not allowed, or he was not able to actually do his job as a member of parliament, because like our president just said, he had to be in court here and there, up and down. He was not allowed, or not even the chance to work in the interest of the Asin North people. So I believe now that the court has actually come to a finalization and said, okay, because at the point of filing his nomination, he wasn't a citizen. I mean, he owed allegiance to Canada at that time as well. The judiciary or the court decided to pronounce his seat as vacant, and that we should go in for a by-election. Now, this is a by-election involving a certain member of parliament. We in the NPP knew this was going to be a very tough task. But elections is just like a sportsmanship game. We go in all out, put in our effort, do what we have to do, and make sure we win the seat. Now, bear in mind, politics these days is you can always make your claim, you can always shout, you can always bring or say things that are not facts. But today I sit down here to bring you facts and delve right into the issues that we are tackling at that point. If you look at the situation in Asin North, we in the MPP knew it was a very difficult task. And the people of Asin North felt that their mandate was being tampered with. People who didn't understand the constitution, people who didn't understand the judicial proceedings, felt that their mandate, they voted for James Jason to come and represent them in parliament. But that the NPP and the ruling NPP, or the ruling Akufo-Addo, are trying to intervene or put in measures to halt or not make their mandate count. So I believe the turnout of this election, I mean, he pulled out a 57.56% of the vote. This shows that the people came out massively to vote for him. And I believe it is first of all out of sympathy. It's out of people feeling like their votes didn't count in 2020. And the fact that people wanted to see what James Quayson could actually do when he is accepted into Parliament as a legitimate member of Parliament. So I strongly believe that has counted for the reason why they won by a 57.56%. But bear in mind, the MPP has won this seat before in 2016. So this is a seat that we know we are capable of winning back. We are putting in the measures right in place. We are doing all we can. The pullout, I mean, there was a 74% turnout, voter turnout, which was very impressive. We believe that the Ascent, both the South, the North, and the Central, belongs to the MPP. And we currently occupy the Ascent South and the Ascent Central constituencies. And come 2024, we are taking this seat back. And we are working tirelessly towards doing that.
Me to wase anache say ne wo kano in someone etwetwe gu ye say that question onye citizen inside ne ekoye no eno ho ebufuo na amanfo no ede etutia MPP susu hu ne say in someone precede before the election say afa ne ba be ye kwan amomo afa ne ba be ye we amomo eno ho ebufuo amanfo no kra be susu say angofo ya so mu muyen eno ho ebufuo kra ka ho na omutimi etutia mo.
Oh, main cancer, because you know politics is broad. We have to consider every single aspect of what we're dealing with when it comes, politically. And Mijidi said the fact that he was voted in with about 54 to 55% of the votes in 2020, but was not allowed to perform his parliamentary duties. That has been the major reason why he was able to win by a 57, over 2.4% increment in votes, because people felt that the government, the ruling government, was trying to intervene or interfere in their decision to elect James Quayson as a member of Parliament. And it has nothing to do with development. We've always development as in both Central, South, and then the North. The MPP has done massively. Under Abena Mensah in 2016, we saw massive development, road projects, schools were being built all over Asin North. So it has nothing to do with development. I'm talking about someone who was he's actually from the royal family in Asin North. So definitely his influence was going to be bigger than Abena Mensah at that point. So a lot of factors went into play for him to win the 2020 elections. But when we consider these by-elections, that has a great deal with people sympathizing with him. There are a lot of people even in Ghana right now that felt he was treated unfairly. And this has counted to the reason why most people went behind him. And that is why he pulled out with a 57.56% of the votes.
Okay. Yeah, share the issue of votes buying. Is this something that has come to stay? Say, do election not just say it was say citizens and our constituency now omuntimi vote according to a certain, and I say in a certain line.
You see, when it comes to vote buying, the Ghanaian elections since 1992 has never been void of vote buying or allegations of vote buying, not just Ghana, but sub-Saharan Africa as a whole. I believe this is not the right way to go, but I believe Ghana politically, although we are doing well democratically, we still have a long way to go. The influence of vote buying and people paying, and like my brother just came to said, they were able to influence people with fertilizers. You can't come and tell me right now physically that 2 or 3 days before elections, you're going around distributing fertilizers to farmers, and that was not to influence their votes. Even a kid can testify to what I'm saying right now. If you go through a constituency, if you go through campaigns 4 or 5 days before the elections, and then you distribute fertilizers to farmers, and you say you are helping to improve production or to improve the lives of farmers in Asin North, that is a very, very, very funny statement to make. These allegations of vote buying has been happening since 1992. We are praying and we are putting in measures, and I hope the Electoral Commission can put in severe measures to halt this practice. It has become the norm of the day. We saw the NDC going on sharing 100 cities to voters. It was on video, the evidence is out there. We saw NDC sharing food stuff and all that to people in Asin North. The evidence is out there. I am not saying here that people do not say the allegations against the MPP is something that I shouldn't consider. We have all seen videos of both parties, both the MPP and the NDC, trying to influence votes by paying sums of monies. So this is something that we condone actually vote buying, and we hope in the near future, as Ghana continues to grow democratically, as our democracy continues to grow wings, there's going to come a point where we're going to put a stop to this, and Ghanaians will now believe that voting for a candidate is directly or indirectly voting for change, voting for your life, voting for influence, voting for development. That is what the Ghanaian people need to understand. And that is why all over the world, Akufo has been commended for his introduction of free senior high school education. We educate the masses, we educate the voters, and we educate the people. There will come a time where people will understand that elections are personal. Elections is for growth, elections are for development, and elections are for Ghanaians as a whole. And 100 cities, someone can just give you 100 cities and take away your destiny. There's going to come a time, through education, through public education, through public speaking, Ghanaians will begin to understand this, and we all together would fight against it.
Okay. Yes, Asha, last minute projects are becoming something normal. They are becoming something normal in our election. Say, ye kwako to aba afei na ye hu say aha say omo kwan ye was say afei na was say ye astrotep na omapenya be de che na minsuo mu che say neni abig should that always be me say when you name say me share videos I bet to ja when you na say not for say when you na e kan ya mo hu ya eye omo cause what's not say aka 1 week afei na mo ba be fan so ma yes amomo ase mu mbu omo ana ase mususu say omo ye nobody ben kan sa mo twan ana ase mo gin say omo ndwin konkan ntino mo be ye we enimenim he ya omo a e be influence omo vote e bi mo kra ka say we aha enye kumewu na mo de isa ni ama we aba be brie ni so me ya to aba mamo. Should this be the case? They be a China say matter say crow baby almost omo nya ya na nkomo MP say wu na ya by election because someone say by election and I did development eba and ram say obi so nya na nka the crow MP wu na yenye by election ye be the crow mu kwan because the crow mu kwan nye enti onya the crow MP wu no mo be by election. Is it something that was say or more encouraging? Is it something that they should be doing? Say, yeah, change na do say by election and I say do say by election moment na ya kika en wa kwa for development ka kwepu hona yetimi de atwe vote I no kra no ye to abani wiana eja omasa sesa omoniama esan kofi akwa koda. So the next election, should that be something we encourage in this country?
Last minute projects is not something that we as Ghanaians need to encourage. We actually need to kick against it. And I understand, when it comes to campaigns, there are several ways or means of actually penetrating voters or making sure that people vote for a particular candidate. Candidate A or candidate B. It's diverse. It's a whole thing. It's a whole big thing. Now, last minute projects did not start here. But let's not forget, Ghana is still a developing country. The level of illiteracy in Ghana is still hitting around the 30% figure. That means there are more Ghanaians who are still not educated. The initiatives that this government has brought about through SHS has been raising the amount to almost 1 million new educated SHS graduates or SHS educated citizens of Ghana. So I believe the challenges we are facing, like you said, vote buying, last minute projects, the only reason why politicians will try to penetrate voters in the last few months to elections by digging or cutting swords and trying to put up projects or do roads is because they believe that can directly or indirectly influence the voters. And I am telling you this, the reason why the politicians think this way is because they know 100%, and I'm speaking with facts, that most of these people are not educated. They vote according to what they see. Some will vote for the MPP because they've seen, oh, you're quite not MPP are shut so more. You vote more power, more bar, more be ye. They are not looking at the GDP of Ghana. They are not looking at the economy, our inflation figures, our currency, how is the economy doing? These are people that are not able to read and write. This are people that cannot read the news and understand where our economy is heading towards. So politicians are very aware of this fact. And they know if I'm having a by-election in, let's say, Asin North, I guarantee you that more than 30% of, or more than 30% of voters in the Assin North constituency are not educated. They will vote based on either what they see or what they believe they will gain by voting party A or party B. That what brings about vote buying and last minute projects. So many people decide to vote for the MP because they've seen that there are excavators on the road trying to reconstruct the road, or some people vote because they had 100 cities, 200 cities here. Ghana, like I said, is still a developing country. We still have a long way to go democratically. There is going to come a time where we will begin to have things right. And the first step is what this administration has taken to increase the number of senior high school graduates, people who graduate from senior high school. We are hitting the 1 million figure. That is the way forward. This is a government that cares about the ordinary Ghanaian, making sure that every single Ghanaian has access to free senior high school education. So in the near future, a politician wouldn't come sit in front of you with 100 cedis to buy your destiny, to buy your mandate with 200 cedis. So the challenges we are facing, vote buying, last minute projects, are things we need to frown upon. We need to come together as a nation, put the politicians on their toes, fight against vote buying, fight against last minute projects. But this is going to take time. And the first step to actually contain this problem is through public education and education of the masses. And that is what this government is doing.
Okay, you better see, you better sign about Hobim. Some radio, you better comment asha for a day sending not yet was so. Mavis Boateng and way by or say watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Assin North is not Kumewu. The constituents are very discerning. Also, the NDC as a political party also did very well. Robert Kimpin anyway by also watching from France, Paris. John Mahama is the real deal for 2024. Ghanaians are tired of this useless government. Okay. Yes, was Nefa NDC Diaspora Union. Also, congratulations to all comrades for a wonderful job done. Rita Pokia, also good evening, Madam Host. Thank you. Good evening. Patience Dark was watching from Hamburg, Germany. Thank you. Sita Laskaya Abdul Khalid, or say what to tell them the truth. I'm not Emmanuel. I'll say Dzifa, I love this guy because he's communicating as a pure political analyst and not MPP man. I wish to meet him on show so that we can talk about building Ghana we want. But Article 8 of the Constitution is clear. If someone marry or decides to be a member of any country, he or she ceases to be a Ghanaian. It's also the same in some countries. Also, Article 92 is clear. Okay. Odiku Kojopon will say it's very sad that Assin North voted for a party that has no campaign message but resorts to lies and propaganda. They may like the NDC candidate, but not the NDC party. They can jubilate for winning the 2024 election in advance. Okay. Odikubimo, say good evening, Mr. Dzifa, and your panelists. Special regards to Mr. Wadud. Okay. You and yeah, Swaswe. Ali Bofan, okay, Mr. Comments back. Jachi renounced her citizenship to Canada before the election and got certificate on 26th November 2020. Okay. You comments be any hobium they are not yet was so Ali Fofana Pacho Uguso Hana wajoin me waha. Mesai Kwababim. You before my next question, Pacho or rebata will be and I say in Sembia Pesa Okafa wadu de Semnihuana.
No, Minir Batabia said, "You do the Kayania, Adia, ewo and you cry that one. The only time about phrase HS how can say Akufo-Addo and the buy and the phrase no mama ne buy mama ne can since 2013. What must say? And to say can about a buyer a dream education one and Quebec say NDC. So what must say? I say mama a buy no or commission free education. I'll be progressively. You know, through that no OC schools for Ghana, through that no OC university. You know, and this Akufo-Addo aba anka oya abaya or don't need my or dream education one anka at least 7 years down the line. But this I say on point to one school and now one university we see at work Ghana for. If say on say na can a mind bone kakra GM buy no obesi infrastructure schools anka Akufo-Addo so buy ya obey ye na afa so dia anka Ghana ye koyenim. You know, and this is about free SHS there anka e when merit bema GD menya Akufo-Addo. Yeah, thank you. What have some question?
Yes, I say gunshots be near their day echo so NDC for Muhumbi and Amotibi.
Yeah, and the quarry tax almost to Samiji Fikam. You know, they were allegedly say only MPP for tax. You know, that was what I come from. Omo ataki Samiji Fi, Omo ataki Pablo, Omo ataki Yempeni for Webre. You know, now so IGP
na sa situation ni NDC for say na mo camp mo handle sa particular situation.
No, who say as I say ye jimrani edi enti ade assembly CN ye handle over Emma IGP in my police for mu ye omo enti so ye jimrani dente di bibia shem mrana sim.
Okay. You want to say who ya na unique say mpenyimfo ni nyina ekọ ase no osha NDC mpenyimfo ni nyina ekogu ase no ho. Do you think say and also play major role and I say a pushy constituents no in any way to vote for Jachukwueze?
They won't say and me from beginning say that was one of our strategy. What must I say? Mpenyimfo nyina ene was a MPP omo suya enyum to fobegu asimfo so omo ye big campaign no na ye mpenyimfo no omo nam door to door campaign ubo obi te say Aruna Idrisu onam efuom obi te say Sylvester Tete obi say Professor Alabi, you know, even John Dramana oma ankasa kwa TC mu oba home 2 times oba first one and no 2 kwa osama no san kwa the same time. You know, yema microphone who say yeni omune wo like we are close to them. Ye basa ibetie omunu masem. So what must say? Enuti na yema microphone omu tie ye message say MPP omu ko the omu ni message bia ema omu say sometimes mo ye cause mo mayanka fact no ye enjoy merit ye enjoy say there be no krani wo ho a mo mayanka if say message bia niwo ma MP pomuko kanchira microphone say for the past 4 years there was no any project from hon muso, you know, and a muchi Jachukwueze almost 2 years na the common fund e wo ho so musimo mufama no okwa say okay okwa project on say musimo onye ne ho kra say o parliamentarian enti onakase ni own personal investments ka and year and all the season all the project to chrome ho, you know, and then yankopon crying child the baby MPP for coach now omuyo program maybe on Jachukwueze na see on onakase ni bottom sika and a see and omko morally and the penny fund that was the strategy like omunyina obia ba out say no let's go and campaign, you know, and minim say coming 2024 so we have something different.
Okay, come 2024, more something different. And I can say, moving forward, what is the plan for Ase North NDC for plan bank and I send share bank and mode to akwa say seats no say we be maintain you and I say after 2024 mutimika say okay yeah in MPP form for what is the plan moving forward?
No, on say plan moving forward. Say as seen on longer it's a farming grow area. What must say a area omu year there if you know, so the ND judge question or any project or and yes, so even though say your opposition, you know, like one of our member coming account or catch on I inform say they should give you at least 1 acre of land or be see or be a mufu or you know what be farm. If say you need a room ho, if say a chroma on farm on your cocoa, so I mean economically be Ghana. Into say a bind your my ni echo that side no Ghana break a crab is weekend.
Okay. You better say Alifufana, you better sign about Hobium as a babejenka. And see any other Mawadut also Wana was joining me na ya to chinko mobium.
Okay, Mwazi.
Yes, say MPP for Motu Tutu. Okay, or about Albiana,
anyway, one thing that I need to state categorically is I sometimes do wish that the NDC misquote figures, they spread falsehood, propaganda, and baseless accusations to this government. I want to make it clear as well. I sometimes wish the NDC were as truthful as they are passionate about the things or the agenda or propaganda they label against the MPP. I just heard my brother say the MPP cannot boast of a single structure they've built to promote senior high school, and that John Dramani Mahama was the one who initiated the free SHS policy. This is falsehood. This is mere propaganda. These are people that decide to put in whatever they want to say and confuse the ordinary Ghanaian. We all know who brought about free SHS, and we all know the group of people that were against it. They swore that this was not possible. There was no money to fund this project, but today we are all a living witness to what is happening. We have been able to promote selected initiatives under government digitalization agenda to formalize the Ghanaian economy. We all are a witness to that. We've digitalized. That's why but Mahmoud Bawumia, His Excellency the Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, is now called Mr. Digitalization. We've been able to digitalize the economy. And he spoke of structures. The MPP has put in 962 structures built for senior high school education, free SHS. These are facts that every single Ghanaian can go out there and verify. 1,190 vehicles have been supplied. Now, he made an allegation, or he claimed that there was no developmental project in Asin since 2016, when the Excellency Mensah was representing the constituency in Parliament, which is a lie. Schools have been built, hospitals, the roads, about a 50-kilometer road was put. There a lot of initiatives or government initiatives were taking place in Asin North even before Kwesi won the 2020 elections. So where are these allegations? Where are these statements? I repeat, these are ordinary falsehoods. These are misinformation of the public. And as a nation, to be able to move forward, we need to stay away clear, or we need to do always such stuff. Free senior high school education, everyone knows the initiators. Everyone knows those who were against it at the beginning. And we all are witness to what is actually happening right now. More and more graduates are graduating from this free SHS policy. Close to 500,000 students have benefited from this free SHS education. Is going to the 1 million figure. And like I said earlier, you made mention of the fact that vote buying and last minute project is halting development in Ghana. And I told you, the only way or the only step we as a nation can take to curtail this problem is through mass and public education. And we have put in the steps. If I say the MPP cares about the ordinary Ghanaian or the education of the ordinary Ghanaian, I was expecting my brother in the NDC to come out and say that he actually supports me on that, because this is a clear fact. Whether you're an MPP or you're NDC, nobody has done so much for the education sector in Ghana than the NPP. The free primary school education, free school feeding program, school uniforms for primary students under the Kufu administration. multiplied or doubled by free senior high school education. Boarding school is now free. We have done so much for education in Ghana than any president under the Fourth Republic. And these are just facts. We've made school accessible to every single Ghanaian. And like I said, this is the only party that is very, very interested in moving Ghana from the position we find ourselves in to the higher states. When we said Ghana was our first initiative when we won power was the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda. We're trying to move Ghana out of the borrowing to a self-sufficient nation. And these steps include free senior high school education, educating the masses. These steps include the NAPCO initiative. 1,190 vehicles have been supplied across the length and breadth of Ghana to promote security in the police service and to make movement of government appointees easy. We have digitalized this economy. We've moved Ghana from a borrowing country to a self-sufficient country. They always bring about the issue of we've gone to the IMF, we've done this. The MPP came into power in 2016 when Ghana was under an IMF program. As I currently speak to you right now, there are over 500 billion dollars being put together by the IMF to support suffering economies, which Ghana happens to be one of them. So if I listen to my brother talk about education and says the NPP, the NDC has done more for education than, I don't know, is he talking about the e-blocks? These are mere structures. They are left there to rot. I tell you that the NPP
are they not left there because the government is not making use of them?
Because the buildings or the structures were put in place at locations that do not benefit the ordinary Ghanaian. Go into these constituencies, go into these districts and put up these structures. You don't go to some part of Ghana where students cannot access and put up e-blocks. At the end of the day, you have to consider those who are going to put this particular structure into use. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a government that is strategic in its dealings. Not like the NDC that move out here, build one hospital here, schools here, and then a road and says they're developing Ghana. Development through initiatives, digitalization agenda to formalize the Ghanaian economy. That's what we're talking about in 2023. Heading towards 2024, we are breaking the eight because Ghanaians have witnessed the good work that the MPP has done. So that was just to cut in because I heard my colleagues saying that they have done more in education than us. So I just wanted to clear the air and make it very known to everyone, our listeners and viewers right now.
Okay. Yet say it to be a cohort say MPP for titru and I yet say omu to near day. As I'm the same for say NAC and I say I'm not saying the same.
Minyaneka said it was alleged that they were MPP supporters. So it's a bit worrying. We are on live television, and for you to boldly claim or say that these were MPP supporters that shot at the car of their communications director, Sami Jemfie, it's really appalling and it's a sad situation. I would like to say we had reports that there were gunshots. It affected the car of, obviously, his name again, the communications director, Sami Jemfie, but there was no clear evidence as to who the perpetrators were. It could be hooligans, it could be hoodlums, it could be the thugs, whatever. We do not have clear evidence on who actually perpetrated this act. So for the NDC to stand on their feet and say it was from the MPP is really sad and it undermines our democracy as a nation.
But how well now you call into elections mo supporters and I say mo supporters ekasa concerning violence.
We all know in Ghana, we've always preached about free and fair elections. Elections void of chaos, elections void of ballot snatching and irregularities that have to do with elections. Now, when it comes to elections irregularities, this is a major problem for sub-Saharan Africa, not just Ghana, I have to be very frank. We recently witnessed the elections that took place in Nigeria in February this year, where there was violence here and there. So, like I said, these are countries that are now developing, putting together their resources to promote development, to promote democracy in their various countries. Democracy, absolute democracy, is very difficult to achieve. The only thing we can do as a nation is continue to improve upon what we've already achieved democratically. The MPP day in, day out before elections preaches about free and fair elections. They preach against violence. They're the first to actually engage security operatives to come and make sure that the peace and order is maintained in the electoral polling stations. We always make sure before elections, you all are evident to that. There's a public speaking, there's advice from our party leaders and those in charge of security in our party. We make it known to the ordinary Ghanaian that we are here to make sure your mandates are protected. We are here to make sure that your votes are counted and this elections ends up free and fair. So to be frank, I'm surprised that the NDC is currently making this by-election as a very violent election where guns were shot. No. Dan Parry in his report indicated clearly this was a largely peaceful election. Every Ghanaian is supposed to be proud of Ghana as I speak to you right now. At the end of the day, we saw their chairman, Asidun Ketia, hugging Kennedy Japan. This was a showcase of peace and together.
I think that was something very, very commendable. It was a beautiful scene. Yes.
If the police have been able to come up with a report indicating or letting Ghanaians know that this was largely, it's hard for you to conduct elections that's 100% void of one or few misconducts. But largely, about 98% of the turnout that came for this by-election was peaceful. We didn't come out to challenge the results because we witnessed a very peaceful, free, and unfair elections. So it's sad when I still watch people out there in the NDC making claims that, yeah, they were trying to be hooligans and they were vigilant. It has nothing to do with your vigilance. No. The NPP is a law-abiding party. The NPP is a peaceful party. When we talk of history, the NPP was never created or initiated or put together at the back of violence. No. We've always protested. Komi Preko, when we were trying to fight for democracy, it was a protest. Referendum times, it was free, it was fair. We are an engaging party. Development of Ghana is the number one on our agenda. That is why it's hard for you to witness irregularities and misconduct from the side of the NPP. So it's very, very important that NDC correct the notion that they feel like it was NPP members that shut at the car of Sammy Gyamfi. It's very appalling and very sad to hear that, I must say. And I hope that they would, in a way or form, retract that particular statement so we can move forward as a nation.
Okay. Now, again, MPP for model to talk say in the next election, and as 2024, no seats are mulusi monsa everything akabium, and as a seat say mumpe matter say NDC 4 seats into muja momo and I say mobile BB afa ho na in the next election no monsa etimi akasit no.
Say a bit J Mama NDC in there. So I wouldn't say, like I said earlier, we believe that the Asin constituency generally consistent of the Asin South, the Asin Central, and the Asin North naturally belongs to the MPP. Before the infusion of Asin Central, we always we were representing Asin Central, Asin North, and Asin South for 3 consecutive terms in Parliament. This goes a long way to tell you that we are in control of this constituencies or these 3 constituencies. And as I speak to you right now, we currently occupy 2 of the 3 constituencies as a whole, where John Intim Fojo is responsible for the South, our own Kennedy Japan for the Central, and then now Jay Squason for the Asin North. We are going to put in measures like we did. If you look at the trend in 2016, 2012, the NDC won the seat. They represented Asin North in Parliament. We were able to strategically put in measures. We strategized very clearly and very effectively. And Abena Dowa Mensah won the seat for us in 2016. Now, from 2016 to 2020, that was when they introduced James Quayson, who happens to be a royal of the Asin North constituency. So we believe that his involvement with the royal family had in one way or another affected the outcome of our results. And that is why, if you realize, we dumped Abena Mensah, we took Abena Mensah out of the picture, and we brought in Charles Opoku to represent the MPP. One may ask, why was that? Why was it so? Why did we take that initiative? Why did we take that plan? Now, Charles Opoku is also an indigenous member of the Asin North. We wanted 2 people from that particular constituency that were born and bred in that particular constituency to fight against each other. That is strategy. The NPP, we've always been ahead of them. We know how to strategize and we know how to win elections. Have they sat down to ask themselves, 2012, when they won the elections, how did Abena Dowa Mensah kick their incumbent MP out? It's through strategy. We know that the fact that Mr. James Kwachi Jason was elected in 2020, and due to a legal battle and situations, that particular seat was declared null and void. It was going to be very difficult for us to seize power from the NDC or to win that seat from the NDC.
But I think from all the comments I heard from your party leaders, in some of them, you say, "Omo say seats there, Monsa Akeri, and I also a political talks."
So when say elections, it actually shows the level of sportsmanship that the NPP engages, or how serious the NPP takes its elections. We knew. I didn't say we didn't have a chance to win. We actually had a chance to win. But we knew it was going to be difficult because in the history of Ghana, by-elections always take place, either when a sitting MP dies or is severely ill. Now, this is a very severe situation. This is a different situation to what we are used to. In Kumawu, it's different. The MP died, proceedings were taken, we decided to put in, and then we won the seat back. But this is a situation where, due to legal issues, he wasn't able to execute or actually perform as a member of parliament. And now, after due diligence and looking at the documents presented before the High Court, they've decided that his seat was null and void and that we should go through a by-elections. Now, mind you, he won over 54% of the vote in 2020. The people that actually vote for James Kwesen felt that their mandate was being tampered with, that this government is trying all what it can possibly do to prevent their votes from being counted or their mandate of voices from being heard. And there was propaganda from the NPP that Akufo-Addo personally has decided to influence decisions of the Supreme Court, which was not true. So I believe at the end of the day, like I said earlier, people voted out of sympathy. People voted because they wanted to make a statement.
But don't you think, such statements can here on Mampenyi on political platform concerning that you're saying likely to go to prison and all those things, no, and no cry as among for before.
And your president and the kind, Opa, let's look at it into perspective. He only said that Ghanaians should vote for Charles Opoku. I mean, the Assin constituents should vote for Charles Opoku because they do not want a certain MP that has to do with court issues here and here. That will prevent him in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, from actually working or living his mandate as a member of parliament. That is what the president said. And this is a campaign. We are able to raise in a message that's going to penetrate the people. And that is just facts. If you should appoint or if you should elect Charles Opoku as your member of parliament, he is going to represent your constituency day in, day out in parliament and make sure your concerns as a constituency are being heard. Now, if you should go for James Kwesen, whose legal battles have not been officially ended yet, he has a few appointments to show up in court. And this may directly or indirectly affect his duties as a member of parliament. Where did the president go wrong with that statement? This was clear, and this was just a campaign message. So at the end of the day, I don't believe that particular comment persuaded a few people to vote against the NPP. No, like I tell you, people felt, the majority of Ghanaians felt James Kwesen was treated unfairly. But these are all sentiments. These are personal sentiments. The standing orders of parliament are clear. The 1992 constitution is clear on dual citizenships, trying to take on political office. These are things that you and I know. So no one from the ruling government is trying to penetrate or influence or change the mandate of the people. The court has to go by the constitution, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, back to your strategy to win the next election.
Like I earlier said, we brought in Charles Opoku, a new face to the constituency. He was new. I mean, as compared to an incumbent MP that has already been there, has actually campaigned during the 2020 elections. We had Abena Mensah who actually competed with him, and now Charles Opoku is a new face. We believe this defeat is just a little setback that is going to give us the chance to propel forward with more strategies. We believe he's going to win the 2024 parliamentary seat for Assin North hands down. I do not have to sit down here and mention our strategies for the NDC to actually know what we're into, but I believe that our party hierarchy and leaders of our party are putting in the necessary measures to win the seat, because this seat is very, very important for the NPP. You can consider everything, put everything together, and look at the direction in which the MPP is going. And I tell you right now that the MPP is working tirelessly to win back the Asin North seat. Like I said earlier, the Asin North, Asin Central, and the Asin South will always continue to remain the NPP's holds.
Tension there.
Right.
There is tension there. You take your time and go from Praso to Enga. Look at what is happening there. The tension that is brewing over all these places. Surprisingly, when you go to NDC Stronghold, Pasofiningo, the place is quiet, there's no tension there. And you have men in uniform who are supposed to make sure that there's law and order. How can people come here and be shooting? How can people come here and be slapping people left, right, center? An election that people are going to vote to decide who to be their member of parliament. Does it have to turn into a war?
The police have been here. We've seen them, some with rifles and the like. Is it the case that you get the sense they are not doing enough for you?
But you're also a journalist. What is your kind of opinion about what is happening here? Are you happy?
I came to hear the report of gunshots being fired.
Okay,
that's why we're asking the question.
So definitely ask yourself, how did it happen?
What is the account you've got? Because we came to hear that gunshots have been fired.
Whoa.
To hear the report of gunshots being fired.
Okay,
that's why we're asking the question.
So definitely ask yourself, how did it happen?
What is the account you've got? Because
Charles Obokusika no mwedi ampa. Yemfa comments kakra eba ye na yesan etwaso. Ye can so say Total Grace Wellness Center and Asaya said Digimedian no Abremu. Ye fire first comment free and not Emmanuel Ho or say MPP are lawless people. What happened in Ayasu? Who was punished? My brother MPP and the Kufadu has always been violent, full of Pacho Eya Jaisa, Imandalano Eya Jaisa, Ian Twaso. Frederico Fikwache, also you mentioned that MPP has built over 1,000 infrastructure and you couldn't give one evidence, but you were able to mention e-blocks scattered around the nation. Okay. Sita, I'll say, Frederico Fikwache, please don't mislead us. That is not true. Yes, Waswe. I know Emmanuel, say, what have you done for your strongholds, even Kwabri and Ashanti region? You guys must admit that your failed promise and lies has triggered the anger of Ghanaians. My brother, speak to the truth. Okay. Colleague, we must say there is a shift system because every home in Ghana has a child in school. We are running shifts because NDC and John Mahama lied to Ghanaians that they had built secondary schools, e-blocks, but it was lies. We had to come complete almost all. But let me ask, if you are saying the e-blocks were situated at wrong places, why then you spend money to complete it? Don't you think you are doing a disservice to the nation? Anyways, Alex Tufua say no one needs an election to think he or she is going to lose. So it's not wrong for MPP to come out and say they are going to win Hamburg, Germany. Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, no one goes to an election. Oh, okay, thank you. I didn't see the word. Osei Superior, say sure we need more by election to make more seats to take more seats from the MPP watching from Barcelona, Spain. Okay, yeah, that's it. I know, Emmanuel, you must say the president has made a total contempt of court and must be punished, because if it was ordinary Ghanaian or NDC president who passed this comment, it would have been in another angle. Okay. All right. Sita, and anyway, by him or say there is okay, say I can't wait. Okay. Yo, so comments for bia any ho dia ye beje ye closer remarks if ye panelists on na jimedie no ye de aba eweye. Nti Ali Fufana pacho obuso e wasa na wa join no amaye o closer remarks. Yes, I am wa kwa baby. Amute o mic no emayen.
Midas Miniaba. First of all, my main case and Mitchell, Mammy Urin fee. Be say, me mau message. Now, on country, Minia Bema or Dudu. Now, at least, omuni communicate say enkasa say a bad program say it's not something like personal attack. Say last week program unipa doctor no ebeye ni me your organizer no oka assembly. In fact, I am me and me case ukra you intervene as one cache. So I say your boss say obi or your can assembly.
Pacho assembly san o kan me. I'm sure na if I menu so na if I so agency.
Like or catch Frederick say like who asantini enye a new wo say who NDC.
Oh, that be Sassam the embassy say you're correct, say what have you're correct, say.
Yeah, because NDC MPP send me most me not now. Let me join NDC, let me join MPP. And yet, a day a new and obi or ya santini no NDC and yet a day I say a new man. And I said, doctor, our friend also a doctor on I mean, and some part of media catch the unyanko say and a new as Ashanti man joining NDC. It's like yeah pana and tibibenia now what do that I catch the man next time more kasa se nibio and yet and say me ba wadud asem okasa na misre say MPP government bia omo di policy ni manema ndada and omo di dada Ghanaians no more di ria Ghana sika. Other than because let me give you this example. Tamna President Kufoba ampa obey free maternal care anamboa obey free maternal care but so why free maternal care na hospitals in your health system no hospital in your sanibakun enya wo info no beko. You know, it takes someone like JDM atamos omo mreso omo buy no mbesi hospitals. It's a can puntua NDC ye party ye dogana. You know, enti kufo be free maternal care without no infrastructure. NDC buy ye be see hospitals, one of the best hospitals in West Africa. You know, make mama you hospitals. You know, your Ghana Medical Hospital. I mean, bebre and a cheap compounds. You know, and secondly, so before I go for the beba, obey or see, obey free SHS. Now, sana me kano free SHS. Now, end this in 2013, and the President Mama Ekati sword on free SHS on day students because he was building the senior high schools. And I say, okay, or any progressively, kakra. If say, or any free at once now, ye need infrastructure school student be by what name? Enti o si school over ya answer school student abeshem aba school. Enti say ye kan mini awadud or see or jitumu say yes ya see free SHS ampa. Nasu yes see ne wonwurim. Come on, mini awadud. Odud men kasa. You know, Bisa say Legon, University of Legon, Ghana. Now, first Legon, Yamawa as I say, first Legon, on me wurim. You know, enti mama or vision, a macro on my dear, enti uncle Osi school no outside, send a bit or honors be a bay room to expand. This is all Baba Casa. Oh, yes, this is school on Wurema, Massa. Only Ghana for and what did you cram Ghana for? Mean our dude. You know, and this MPP usi ubesi National Cathedral. Instead of say work of asasi bebre wo, that's how you are building your country. Instead of say work of assassin work of assassin baby from outside Accra. Now we see National Cathedral say tourists will come to that place no. Ububu fie Accra, more than 50 houses. And like Akufo-Addo ni MPP, they just came to destroy. Ubaye La General Hospital, ububu no. Why is it from Accra Trade Center? You demolish it. Why is it from? You know, and what dude? Yeah, can't. I mean, MPP just accepts the more fairly Ghanaians. Me bonfire was a my judgment depth ember to Ghana for. If say, I mean, Boni Akufo-Addo ededi Ghana for. And then National Cathedral, National Cathedral, wobubu dying. Judges fear up tonight. There are some judges and the government is paying for their rent. You know, and then Usanka said, oh, Baumia or by digitalization, DN massa. Minya bema dude. Enti se anka Akufo-Addo ebaye anka mama ensiwe mokan se digital center Accra digital center anka infan obo stock datas. Me chale eyamu kan se ma fa merit emma the nation builder. Oye John Dramani mama. He is the nation builder. Obaye bibi of Obaye obesi the Accra Digital Center. If say on him say, ye ba be digital your economy. Ukwa Accra Ghana Telecom Tower, mama na see ye. You know, Ukwa Accra Ghana mama na see Ghana Telecom Tower, mama na see ye. Ghana Digital Center, mama na see ye. Even NCA building, baby Usla Obaya Okoyi mama onodi ni dimbo kwa mama na sie enti anka MPP mubaye anka we nyina enniwa infa na mbosto accommodators amu ba won be digitalization no. You know, anka infa na baumia ube store daters anka mama ANC digital center Akufo-Addo infant obesi ubest of datas. And this is a muba. I mean, more Bogana chrono, MPP, more Bogana, you just came policy, but policy without infrastructure is needless. If say mama, or say okay, mama yensi infrastructure, Accra. Ente anka Akufo-Addo uba yeso anka usi bikanwa anka yeko. Free SHS or seen of say for their students, one for boarding. And Akufo-Addo just came to implicate boarding. It's like now like he was in a hurry. No, it's Mukasa or wrong location. You know, it's all the Ghanaian university. If you go Cape Coast, Agri Memorial, now they were in the bush. When you go to Kofredia, Ghana, Ghanas, all the senior high schools were built outside. So the place will develop. So Anthonia be a war any da swama umaya. Nema when you as negative thing. Now it take a veteran leader like John Dramani Mahama to build all these kind of things. And the second, yeah, meet you, Minyaba.
And that's also.
And secondly, Ubai Usi MPP Kabi Amambu DN. Akufo-Addo government is the only government that Nimresu Yakotu Aba almost 8-9 people here. Akufo-Addo Mresu na journalists were threatening. Akufo-Addo Mresu na ene Ghana obia so bekasa. Uye pesi order from above. If you mean about Bianca minim woman be obey video TikTok so she's talking about Ghana economy. Akufo-Addo the next day they send police to arrest this woman. He took the NDC people to go and bail this one from prison. And this okay say Akufo-Addo ye obi a ope kamima minke be amambo a na utwa na ntronko na utwa. Aya was by election. Ye ko hono mu proper manfo. Ye the report by Akufo-Addo say margin so mi fanye adwuma. And this ka say maybe a democracy ejuma not under MPP. You know, and uka DMB about mo election boy. Mamun kase muka se lady no on match as osu kwanda bi. Akufo-Addo ankasa free woman said she should resign for that man to come. The woman wanted to contest, but Akufo-Addo kase they be resign. Omu share no say onsi from. Enti it's like woman no kra nyame e ka no otua mo kase mo lose election no. Anka omu di woman no kra koye kra anka at least they'll do better. Anka they will do better. It is a move kasa mo fa merit kakra fa I mean the nation builder. If say mama away need a soma Ghana and it only the NDC can build Ghana. If say MPP you just is John 10 government. Dzifa, oh Bible Dzifa. But we are can John 10 mami Israel. Why?
Yo, Mate, Ali Fofana, you better say. Yeah, call you near Bema Wadu, so on that the whole closer remarks.
Okay, Mr. Ali Fofana, message now. Okay, I'm fan call to my communications team. I'm just assuring you that the message will get to them. I tuned in last week, so I feel like the message was very unfortunate. I mean, the comments are very unfortunate, and I'll make it known to them. I'll make it known to them. We've actually had a discussion about it, and I think we'll get that resolved. You see, like I always say, I wish the NDC were as truthful as they are passionate when it comes to indicating or highlighting their achievements as a government. When you ask the NDC what they've done for Mother Ghana, they begin to mention e-blocks, they begin to mention hospitals, they say they did roads, that everything that they are talking about can be located in the Green Book. Now, ask the NDC, how was the rate of debt accumulation faring under their regime? Ask them, how was their fiscal deficit faring? Ask them how their valued added tax were doing. You see, government, I mean, infrastructure is an integral part of development. That is actually the basis, the foundation for development. And Ghana, I mean, if you look at infrastructure in Ghana, has been boosted largely, not just under the NDC or the Mahama administration, but subsequent governments as well. And the Akufo-Addo is not sure of it. He's also made a lot of infrastructural development. In addition to the policies that are driving the nation in the right direction, we've actually done a lot. So if you ask the NDC, there are no clear-cut policies to improve the lives of ordinary Ghanaians. They always continue to talk about they built a hospital and then they built a school. That's what you continue to hear. Now, I put it to you right now that our GDP in Ghana is about $77.59 billion. Largely part of these funds. Now, ask the NDC, how were they accumulating debt between 2007, 2008, 2012? Ask them. Now, the reason why this by-election was very important for us is we all know the situation that we, the government party, find ourselves in. We find ourselves in a political party or in a parliamentary situation where out of 275, there's 137. So losing a certain member of parliament is very, very key in decision-making when it comes to our parliament. So we never took this by-election lenient, although we knew it was going to be tough for us. Like I said earlier, we put in the measures to make sure that we win, but unfortunately, we didn't win. And these allegations of Akufo-Addo personally calling Mrs. Mensa to resign and allow Opoku to go, I mean, these are all allegations, and these are comments from the NDC that always continue to circulate across the airwaves, which are baseless, which are factless, and I do not know where they had this information from. But what I want the NDC, my brothers and sisters in the NDC, to understand is that the number one driving force of an economy are substantive initiatives that can change the face of an economy. You can't sit down here and tell me a hospital will change the face of an economy or a school building will change the face of an economy. Initiatives such as free senior high school will change the face of an economy. Initiatives such as the NAPCO providing allowances for students or for graduates can change the face of an economy. Nursing training allowance reintroduced can change the face of an economy. Renewal of the National Health Insurance membership cards can change the face of an economy. These are various aspects of the Ghanaian economy that the president or this administration have directly dealt with. You know, we are thinking of development of Ghana as a whole. We are pushing the nation in the right direction. I mean, due to unforeseen circumstances whereby there was COVID and there was this Russia-Ukraine war, compare the NDC's performance for the first 4 years, 2006-2020. Our president was elected as the African of the Year here in France. He received the award. Why was it so? We all saw development, steady development in the Ghanaian economy. We all saw how well the economy was doing before this COVID-19 and then I always continue to say, Ghana at the moment is facing hardships here and there, which is rightly so, and every single Ghanaian is like witnesses that. We all know that. But as I tell you, the Ghanaian economy is back on the track. It is climbing steadily. We went to the IMF due to the challenges that we faced due to the COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war. And I tell you, it is not Ghana that just went to the IMF. After the COVID-Ukraine war, we have over more than 40 to 45 countries who are currently at the mercy of the IMF. The IMF has set 200 billion to cover 35 countries and to release or provide support for these countries. Some of these countries include Argentina, Ecuador, Egypt, Tunisia. So Ghana is not the only country that is facing it after this global pandemic. But this government has clearly made it known to Ghanaians that no matter the situation that they find themselves in, they have what it takes to steer the country out of it. It is evident to how the economy is faring now. We're stabilizing everything. The exchange rate, the Ghana cedi against the dollar is being stabilized day by day. It keeps reducing, it keeps dropping. This is a government that cares for the ordinary Ghanaian. It is easy for a government to borrow money and put up infrastructure. Everyone can do that. But we need policies that will make Ghana a better place for our children, unborn children. That is where initiatives comes in. Government policies that will uplift an economy. That is what the MPP is good at. You can say that MPP for Bar, Amuka initiative, CAC, policies. There is nothing that drives or brings about development, economic development, more than policies. This is facts. You can build a structure. I'm not saying that the NDC didn't put up structures. I had a few comments about the e-blocks here and there. I'm not saying every single government puts up structures. You tell me one particular government that came into power since the Fourth Republic that didn't put up schools, didn't put up hospitals. Everyone does that. But at the end of the day, one thing that actually brings about sustainable development to a country, it's their policies. And that is what the NPP is good at. And even now, NDC brothers can attest to that. So like I said, they may say a few things here and there that they have developed here and there, they built here and there. The 2024 elections will not be based on who built what and who didn't build what. We are digitalizing the economy. We are bringing digital addressing system in Ghana. GPS is fully functioning in Ghana now due to our initiatives. Ghana continues to grow steadily, and Ghana is actually a trademark for all other African countries. Let's sometimes put politics aside and appreciate people for their good works. Akufo-Addo, since was sworn into office, has demonstrated to Ghanaians steadily his focus on improving the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian. And we all are evident, we all are witnessing these developments. So like I said, 2024, we're coming head on. We are very confident that we are winning this election. And in regards to this by-election, we are very confident again that we are going to win the Assin North constituency seat back for the NPP. It has been ours since 2000. So let's not make or play politics. And I see the NPP jubilating and singing and dancing as if they've won the 2024 elections. It was a by-elections. It was your seat, and you guys just regained it. I applaud you for that. There are a few things that were done right by the NDC. They came in their numbers to support their candidate, and at the end of the day, the victory was on their side. But we continue to remain majority in parliament, which is the most important factor. And we believe with the initiatives you are putting in place, 2024 is assured. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Wajud. Yo, yabeda munyina ase fire every day e dey edwuma no e be wie nti beda mo nyina ase se mo jebre e hwe yen send mu comments na mo suggestions na so e de ma yen ye panelists mo be jeje nkonwa ene ye twetwe nkomo ye da mo nyina so ase Total Grace Wellness Center and the soya said edwuma no every mo ye da omo so ase police am secretary so beda na say midin e de Anthonia Dzifa Effah na what you send there ye be saying Asia bi yakra mo